Everybody's planning to see Seattle's spectacular $100 million World's Fair.
So pack up your troubles and forget your cares. Pack up your family and head for the fair in Seattle.
I'm Knute Berger. I want to invite you to Seattle for the SIA conference in 2011.
The Society for Industrial Archeology Conference will be held in Seattle in 2011, but there's still a lot to see from 1962, when the city hosted the Century 21 World's Fair. The history of the future begins with a monorail ride, with author and historian Knute Berger, from downtown to the old fairgrounds, now known as Seattle Center.
Well, this was supposed to be the way we were all traveling in the future. One of the cool things about the Seattle Monorail is most World's Fairs don't start until you get inside the gates of the World's Fair, but here the future started downtown.
The short monorail ride takes passengers through the Belltown neighborhood and Frank Geary's Experience Music Project, disembarking close to all the major attractions on this compact 74-acre World's Fair campus. First stop on our tour is the original United States Science Pavilion.
Well, we're standing at the Pacific Science Center, which originally was the U.S. Pavilion at the Seattle World's Fair. And the fair was really about science. It was the New Frontier Fair, it was John F. Kennedy, it was how we were going to beat the Russians who had launched Sputnik. And this was one of the places where the public was going to come and learn all about cutting-edge science and how it was benefiting mankind. In keeping with the space age theme of the fair, you could come here and they had Alan Shepard's Mercury capsule. This is, the first capsule that had taken man into space, and you could come and see that here. The Science Center, design-wise, was designed by a wonderful modern architect who was trained in Seattle, Minoru Yamasaki, and he's most famously known because he designed the World Trade Center. And if you look at the Science Center today, you can actually see in some of the arches and the use of Gothic shapes some of the design elements that you might have seen even on 9/11 among the ruins.
The Space Needle beckons from nearby, and elevators depart from its base every few minutes for a narrated ride to the top.
I'll be your elevator operator for the next 43 seconds. That's how long it's going to take us to get to the restaurant level, which is at 520 feet. The observation deck above is 520, and the total height of the Space Needle is 605 feet, or 184 meters. Space Needle was built in 1962 to be the centerpiece for the World's Fair. That's also when they introduced the microwave oven and touch-tone telephone. The Space Needle was built, we are the tallest building west of the Mississippi River. Now we are the 7th tallest building in Seattle. Right now we're looking out towards the east at Elliott Bay, part of the Puget Sound.
Well, we're standing on the observation deck of the Space Needle in Seattle, and behind me you can see downtown. The Space Needle has an amazing view. From the top of the Space Needle, you can see 3 national parks. That's one reason Seattle doesn't have a central park. We have parks all around the city. Space Needle is one of the amazing things about its design. It's basically a flying saucer standing on a long, slender pedestal. And it's recognized around the world. It's second really only to the Eiffel Tower as a legacy structure left over from a World's Fair. And but there's something about its proportions. It was almost designed by committee. There like 3 or 4 different people were involved in the design of the Space Needle, and you would think that would spell disaster. But in fact, the Space Needle has beautiful proportions.
And the Space Needle remains one of the city's most popular attractions, hosting 1 million visitors a year on its observation deck and rotating restaurant.
See you in Seattle.
Pack up your troubles.
For 6 wonderful months,
Pack up your family and head for the fair.
it's the big thrilling adventure of a lifetime. Opening April 21st to October 21st in Seattle.
Make your plans now to attend the 2011 SIA conference in Seattle, June 1st through the 5th. The Seattle Host Committee thanks our generous supporters and invites you to visit SIA2011.com for more information.